I tried to tell y'all, man, about them Florida Gators, man. They won the Natty last night. I had a video. They got erased. But look, man, shout out to Florida, man, for winning this championship. This was not no easy game for them. Houston came ready to play. Them boys was not messing around. But in the end, we got to talk about one player that really won this for them, and obviously the defense. The defense was very important down the stretch of that game. Because without their defense, Florida does not win this championship. No way. They only led, I think, for maybe like a minute in this game. Let's talk about it, though. Now, look, this dude right here, he won in the chip. Now, I know y'all can be like, well, Walt Clinton Jr. won most outstanding player. I feel y'all. But without his play, they don't win this game, bro. He was hot in the first half. When Florida couldn't buy a bucket, this man was getting buckets. You know what I'm saying? He had double digits at the first half. I think he was at 11 points and 4 or 6 from three-point range in the first half. Bro wasn't playing around, right? Finished with 18 points, 8 boards, and 2 steals in this game. 4-7 from 3. Outstanding performance. Finished with 1,674 points, 668 rebounds, and 248 made threes. His defense down the stretch, though, was very important. When Emmanuel Sharp was driving, right, trying to go up in the lane, he went and he batted the ball against his knee. Florida gets possession. They go down and score, right? And obviously the next possession where I want to give credit to Walt Clinton Jr. was this. His defense on Emmanuel Sharp was very important, man, in that game. And what was crazy is that Houston took their time. Houston had nearly 20 seconds on the clock, and they bled the whole clock. That talks to the Florida defense, the adjustments that Todd Golden made in this game. But talk about Walt Clinton Jr. Everybody thinks he's just a scorer and he can score off the bounce and off the dribble. No, he actually guarded him and forced the shot that he didn't want to take. Got him up in the air. He couldn't touch the ball because it's a turnover, and Florida gets the ball, gets the possession, and the time runs out. That is a pinpoint defensive possession and back-to-back possessions for Florida. That was important in this game. And also, I want to shout out Todd Golden for his ability to adjust in the second half. More ball pressure. They didn't really let L.J. Cryer go off in the second half. He did have his points, but we're going to break that down here in a second. Just the efficiency wasn't what he had, obviously, a game ago against Duke. The defensive ball pressure by Elijah Martin, Will Richard, and obviously towards the end of the game, Walt Clinton Jr., they don't win this game. Get down further, I got to give the Florida Bigs some credit and some love too, man. Alex Condon had a ball game. 12.7 boards, man. I thought his ability, he had a lot of turnovers in the first half. Don't get me wrong. He had 3 turnovers. He was struggling, but he didn't let that kind of deter him from the game. When it was down low, all I would say with Condon, just look for your shot a little bit more, dog. Look for your shot a little bit more, and I definitely think he's an NBA prospect, but just look for your shot a little bit more. Don't always look to pass, because they was doing double pressure to Walt Clinton Jr., which was tough for him to get off because he didn't even have any points in the first half. He just going into the second half on a free throw shot. But the Bigs' ability, him, Chinyuelu, being able to rebound the basketball at a high level as well. Thomas Hawk, even though he only had 5 points and 5 boards, he did a really good job, in my humble opinion, as well. Just being able to give them good, playable minutes and being able to come in and them not miss a beat offensively or defensively. Now, we already talked about, obviously, the player Will Richard. Outstanding game, in my humble opinion. 18 points, 8 boards. He was phenomenal, and he really picked up the slack. When we look at this game, Walt Clayton Jr., 3 of 10, 11 points. Didn't get going into the second half when he finally was able to go to the free throw line. Then he hit a big shot down the stretch, right? Elijah Martin, another player I told y'all, that had to have a good game. He didn't. 2 for 10, 1 for 6 from 3, 7 points. But again, their defensive pressure in this game helped wielded them to victory. And like I said, without Will Richard, 18 points, and his ability in the first half to score the basketball, they don't come back and they don't beat Houston. They erased a 12-point deficit in this game to come out on top. That is how you get it done if you're the Florida Gators, man. Great defensive play, struggled offensively, but another key area they won in this game as well. All right, so as I said, neither team shot the basketball well. Both struggled. 6 of 24 from 3, 6 of 25 from 3 as well. But the key difference in this one was the free throws. Now I know y'all gonna be like, well, it's 4 to it's basically a 1-point difference. But 81% to 64.3% makes a big difference in the game. They only made 9, they made 17. Right, that was crucial. And then the assists. Florida was sharing the basketball. 14 assists to just 5 for Houston. When Houston had them on the ropes and couldn't put them away, they couldn't make the baskets, right? They went on the scoring drought themselves and couldn't do it. But Florida kept going. They was dumping the ball off to their bigs, kept cutting, backdoor cutting, set up easy looks for the offense, man. When you have bigs that can share the basketball the way that Florida does, it gives you a chance in any type of game. And that was crucial for them coming out on top, man. The bigs was phenomenal. Alex Condon, Thomas Hawk, Chinyuelu, when he was able to get into the game, they were crucial in this one. Now, if you're Houston, you got to be sick because this is probably one of your best chances to win a national championship, right? Really good game, overall for Houston. Just couldn't quite
muster it in, right? Like I said, L.J. Crowder in this one struggled efficiency-wise. 6 of 18 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3. He did score 19 points and 6 boards, but they had an answer for him in the second half. Again, credit Todd Golden. You need a little bit more from Emmanuel Sharp, who was 3 for 11 with 8 points. That's not going to get it done. Milos Uzan, he disappeared in the Final Four. I hate to be that guy to say that, but he did. 2 or 9, that's not going to get it done in 6 points. If you're trying to win a championship, got to be better. Same with Jawan Roberts in this one. Nearly had a double-double, 8 points, 8 rebounds, but just inefficient tonight. 3 of 13 from the field. Their best player was Francis, in my humble opinion tonight. Him and Crowder were the best players. 4 of 5 with 8 points and 6 boards. He just couldn't stay on the court. Foul trouble. Same with Tugler. Foul trouble. But their ability to offensive rebound was another key, in this game once again. And that allowed them to kind of, put or just control the entire game, was their ability to rebound at a high level and, be able to get more possessions. That really helped out Houston in this game. Because remember, at one point, they had like 10 more shots than Florida, in this game. So that speaks to the offensive rebound. Just couldn't quite finish those chances when they had it. If they shoot it a little bit better, they probably come out on top in this game. So, yeah, y'all, that's my thoughts, man. Shout out to the Florida Gators, man. They won a Natty, man, national championship. Well-deserved. I mean, you knew all year, man. I thought it was between them and Duke. What they was able to do this year, how elite both teams were. Duke ended up losing to Houston, blowing at the end. But Florida, they had great guard play. When you have Elijah Martin, Will Richard, and obviously Walt Clayton Jr., who didn't have his best game, that's the mark of a great team, because your best player didn't perform well, but your other players picked up the slack. And obviously Clayton Jr. in his post-game talked about that, and them boys picking up the slack for him a little bit. And, being a team, everybody can go get a bucket. And you see that with Thomas Hall, obviously Alex Condon, all them boys played at a high level, man, and it won them a championship. Without their defense, again, late in that game against Houston, against Emmanuel Sharp on both times, they don't win the game. And remember, they were face guard and made it tough for them to even get the ball to their best player, L.J. Crowder. Shout out to Elijah Martin, who was playing defensive pressure against him. They did an outstanding job in this one, making it tough and making them boys have to eke out a win, man. So shout out to Florida. Well-deserved championship. They're back on the mountaintop. And Todd Golden is one of the youngest coaches to win a national championship at 39 years old, man. But what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think about, obviously, Florida winning this national championship? Last comment. For those that are watching, this was the best Final Four. I don't care what anybody says. Best Final Four I've seen probably in my lifetime. It was so competitive. We get guys that be talking about, college basketball is dead. Bro, college basketball is hitting its prime, bro. I mean, you don't get much better play than what we seen in the Final Four. All them games came down to the stretch. What better way to go out on a national championship than the final possession of the game? Either team can win it. Buzzer beater. We had that a couple years ago. I think it was Villanova and UNC. That was phenomenal, man. Obviously, just great defensive pressure at the end. But, the Final Four was great. Florida and Auburn. Florida erasing the deficit to come back and beat the number 1 overall seed, right? Houston coming back and beating Duke, who's the national title favorite, right? And in this game, went toe-to-toe. Haymakers all game long, man. Look, I don't care what nobody says. That was one of the best Final Fours I've seen.